Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Fiverr Talks. My name is Joel, and today we're talking about Fiverr Repeat Business Analytics. What does this new dashboard mean? What does repeat business mean for you? What will it mean in the future? All these questions answered in today's video, so don't miss a second. That's right, today we're talking about repeat business, repeat buyers on Fiverr, which as many of you have reminded me we've talked about before in the past. It's something that's been on my mind for a while because it's key to a good business of any kind, let alone a Fiverr business. And now Fiverr has keyed into that fact, and they've started changing things, molding things, shaping things so that buyers that come back to certain sellers will affect their rating. And they've even given us a badge and a rating system in the analytics dashboard to tell who's doing the best with repeat buyers in each category. So we're going to unlock and tap into all of these things today, go through what the dashboard looks like, what a repeat business score is, how we get there, and what all that means for you as the seller. But before we jump into all that, I want to take just 1 second to stop and say thank you. While this channel has been on hiatus for about 6 months, now we're back. You have kept watching the videos. In fact, many of you are brand new to the channel. You've subscribed while I was gone, and this channel grew from 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers all the way up to about 9,500, now 9,600 or 700 subscribers, more every single day. We're on the precipice of 10,000 subscribers, something I never dreamed of, I never thought was possible. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who have been watching from the beginning, all of you who are new, all of you who are sharing the channel. So if you find value in it and you know somebody else out there, get us to 10,000 and share this video. All right, let's get back to today's topic, repeat business on Fiverr and why it's such a big deal. Well, it's such a big deal because Fiverr wants repeat business. Why does Fiverr want repeat business, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because to Fiverr, a repeat customer is a customer they didn't have to acquire, a customer they didn't have to pay for again. They spend money on getting people to the site, getting people to buy, closing that sale, getting someone to buy, and I imagine it's just like anything else. Once somebody buys once on the platform, getting them to make it a regular thing is a part of their success. So they know that if somebody's a repeat buyer for you, you're helping them to bring customers back to the platform. They don't have to reacquire those customers or acquire new customers. It's cheaper for them and they make more profit. That's how internet businesses work. So Fiverr loves repeat businesses, and they're now going to reward sellers that drive that cost savings to them by bringing customers back to their services time and time again. And the way they've done this is they've set up a little dashboard for us here and given us a score called a repeat business score that is created through several different factors. And in just a minute, I'm going to share one of my gigs with you, or actually one of my categories, because you don't get a repeat business score for every gig you have. You get a repeat business score for every category you're in. So for instance, I have 3 different gigs in the whiteboard and explainer video animation category. So I have 1 score for all 3 of those gigs. I have other gigs in the voiceover category. I have a different score for those gigs. 2 gigs, 1 category in that case. And so I only have 2 different repeat business scores because I have 2 different categories of gigs that I sell. So it's not for every single gig. It's just for every single category that you're in. And you should know that these scores are not based on how you compare to people in other categories. They're only based on how you compare to other sellers in your own category. So it's apples to apples, oranges to oranges, tables to tables, and lamps to lamps. Whatever, it's things of like kind being compared. So you're not being compared to somebody in a completely different industry where they sell services for a much higher price or a much higher volume. Whatever it is, you're being compared to people in your category. So know and understand that. And you might be asking, hey, what is Fiverr evaluating? What are these key factors they're using to determine if I'm doing well with repeat buyers? So let's dive into my analytics page. I'll show you one of my categories and my scores so you can see what they're doing. The first thing they're evaluating is the number of repeat buyers. Now, I should say right up front that this is over a 90-day period of time. This score is refreshed weekly, so every 7 days, but the statistics you see, I believe, would be for the past 90 days. So every week it clicks one more week forward, and it's for the past 90 days of business. So that first number you see right there is the number of repeat buyers that I've had in the last 90 days. And that number will change when the week clicks over after 7 days. The second thing that they're factoring in is the percentage of repeat buyers. So the percentage of buyers that I've had, how many buyers came back. And there's my number for this specific category here. Then the next is the earnings, the total number of earnings from repeat buyers. And I've gone ahead and blurred that out, so you can't see how much I've actually earned from repeat buyers, but that's an actual physical number, how much money you've earned from repeat buyers. That's an important part of the equation, because when you're making money from repeat buyers, Fiverr's making money, so they care about that. And then the fourth thing is the percentage of earnings from repeat buyers. So that's the percentage of your total earnings over the last 90 days that came from repeat buyers. And obviously, the higher each one of these numbers are compared to the others in your category, the better your score will be. And in this case, there's my score right there up at the top. And if you maintain a score of 95 or more, you will get this repeat business badge placed on your gigs in that category. And you might be asking yourself, what does this badge even do? I get a lot of questions on the channel about these badges. You know, we've got rising talent. We've got obviously promoted if it was something from a paid ad. We've got repeat business. We've got Fiverr's choice. There are a bunch of different badges out there, and everybody wants to know, what do these mean? What do they say? Well, it's just like anything else. It's a certification. It's a verification of your skills or some kind of notoriety. Does that catch a buyer's attention? I assume it does. I mean, I just assume that buyers see these things and think, just another thing to set you apart. I'm not on the buying side enough to tell you that these things are drawing people off the search pages to your gig at a higher rate than anything else. Do I think that? Probably not. I'd say it's just one more little thing that could help you or give you maybe an edge or an advantage over somebody that really doesn't have that many badges or any badges at all. It's something that would stop someone from scrolling in their search and click on your gig. Then again, I believe it's what's on your actual gig page that really helps you get the sale. Many buyers look through dozens and dozens of gig pages before they make a buying decision. But then again, they have to click on your gig page to actually go through and order from you. So that's a really great question to be asking. What does this badge do for me? I can't sit here and tell you this badge doesn't mean anything, because I believe this badge actually says quite a lot. I think Fiverr believes in it very deeply, and I think customers like to see that, because knowing that people are getting repeat business time and time again to a buyer says this person can be trusted, so much so that they not only deliver what they say they're going to do and in the time frame they're going to do it and do a nice quality job, but there's somebody who does that so well that other buyers have said, I would buy from them again, not just through hyperbole or just, in a distant scenario that doesn't exist. No, they've actually purchased from this seller again. So I think this is an important badge. I think this score is important, and I think it's something we should all be trying to turn our Fiverr gigs towards, because Fiverr has given it such a prominent place on the analytics dashboard. They want you to know it. They want buyers to know it. I think it should matter to all of us. And so I think we should really be paying attention to this. And if you're not, you need to start paying attention to it. And that brings us to today's question of the day. If you're brave enough to share, leave us a comment down below and tell us what your repeat business score is, and tell us what category you're in. I think it'll be really fun for everybody to share. So to close things out, I know the one question that's on everybody's minds is, how do I drive more repeat business? We've obviously established that this is important to Fiverr, that this could help your sales, that this is where Fiverr is going. This is where things are developing. How do I drive more repeat business? Well, in a lot of the things I've read from Fiverr, it seems that this is a big push or another way for them to really get people interested in the subscription part of Fiverr that's rolled out in the last year. It's something that I'm not sure a lot of people are using. It's really hard for me to tell. I don't have the data and analytics to support that. But just in my categories, it's something that I don't think every creative service fits within. And so I don't think everybody can or is using it. But Fiverr really wants us to. Again, we ask ourselves why? Well, it's because people are essentially signing up for automatic payments to have you do work for them. Things they don't have to think about, things that people forget to turn off. So, hey, I'm paying you X amount of dollars a month, every single month on auto draft to do this specific amount of work for me. And even if I forget to give you work, they're still going to draw that out. Fiverr likes that. It's just like any other subscription model, Netflix, any of these deliverable boxes, Blue Apron, all this stuff delivered to your house. The subscription model has proven very effective. And Fiverr would like to get more people on the subscription model. And they've even suggested that a great way to get repeat business up is to start using subscriptions. So you have to ask yourself, is my service really well fit for a subscription? And if not, can I even find a way to make it work, to test it out, to encourage my buyers to subscribe for something? I've been asking myself the same question. Is there something within the explainer video category, the voiceover category that I can turn into a subscription? I feel like they're not well suited, so I don't have subscriptions set up. But I've begun asking myself those questions again about how do I turn this? How do I change this? How do I get subscriptions involved in my services so that my repeat business scores will go up, Fiverr will be more satisfied with the service I'm providing, and thus I'll be promoted more often? Those are all questions we have to begin to ask ourselves. Even if we've asked them before of our gigs, we need to ask them again because Fiverr really wants us to bump up and use that subscription service that they've created. We also have to ask ourselves, are there any incentives that we can offer people to come back? And this is really a slippery slope, if you ask me. This is something I've talked about on this channel for a long time that I don't like doing, and that is giving people discounts or giving people little incentives to work with me. I want people who really want to work with me for the value of the service I provide, who value my time. I don't want to have to trick people or entice people is probably the better word, lure them into my services to get them to come over, because then it's usually not a good experience to work with that type of person anyway. But I will say that in a world where repeat business means so much, if you're able to offer some sort of incentive to customers to come back to you and it increases your statistics, it's a lot like paid promotion. For instance, if you're using the paid promotion side of things, I have on and off. It's really kind of a gamble. Do I want to spend $2, $3 on a click that may turn into a $500 purchase? Well, yes, if it worked every single time, I'd spend that $2 or $3. But you don't have a guarantee that it will work. In the case of an incentive, it's actually a 100% guarantee that you'll never pay out any cost until it actually works. So maybe it's a 5% discount. Let's say you sell a service that's typically $100. Somebody places a $100 order with you and you say, hey, as an incentive for repeat buyers, I'm gonna offer you $5 off, 5% off your next order. So the next time you come back to me, message me in the inbox, let me know you're a repeat customer. I'll give you that 5% discount. And it might make them think, hey, they actually, I want to work with you sometime in the future anyway. And that's a good incentive. I'll figure out how to do it sooner rather than later. Whatever it is, it might be worth thinking about that through the lens of something like a paid promotion. Do you want to use that? Do you want to enhance your services with a little bit of an incentive to try to get people to come back? I won't say that I think it will always work, because people that are going to buy from you are always going to buy from you. For years, I looked for ways to incentivize people to recommend me to their friends, their colleagues, their other, working relationships. And I realized that the people that are going to refer me to others are going to do it without incentive or not. If I incentivize them, I may get a few more here and there, but people who truly were wowed by my service do it and have done it anyway. So I believe a lot of the same about this, that people are going to come back to you and use you because of the quality of your service, the trustworthiness of your communication and your persona and just your process. They're going to do that because you did a great job, even if you don't incentivize them. So weigh that out. Think about it. Are incentives worth it? Maybe they are for you. And you really have to ask yourself at the end of the day, am I setting myself up as a seller to offer a service that is bent towards repeat business? Am I doing something that will last a buyer 10 years, 5 years? And if so, you're going to have a hard time competing in this market where repeat business is so important. And you might start to ask yourself, how can I bend my service? How can I tilt my service or realign my service to a way that it needs to be refreshed more often? Or, maybe so that multiple purchases are beneficial to the buyer, those kinds of things. I just think Fiverr is setting up a gig economy where they need people to offer services that will need to be renewed all the time. I'm going to need new copy every month, every week, a new video every 2 months, things like that. That's what Fiverr wants to set up. And so we as sellers have to ask ourselves, how are we fitting into that? And how do we tilt our services so that we fit into that better in the future? Because that is where Fiverr is going. Hey, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. You can subscribe for more videos right over there. And there's actually a playlist of videos right there that would really be great for you if you're looking for more tips on how to become a top-rated seller on Fiverr. So until next time, keep doing, because the future favors the doers.